Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to the another lecture of company audit. So we are already done with the various sections, section number 139, section number 140. So in the section number 139, we talked about appointment, casual vacancy and rotation of an auditor. And in section number 140, we talked about the removal of an auditor by the members and removal of the auditor by the tribunal. So now today we are going to start with section number 141, highly intellectual section. So many discussions are going to take place in this section. So first of all, again welcome you all to the CA final paper number 3 advanced auditing and professional ethics class. This is the lecture number 4. Welcome you all to the Lakshya Institute. And so without wasting the time, let us start with the section number 141. Let's talk about what 141 is having in tray for you. So when we talk about section number 141, what we have to understand, now section number 141 is also divided into 3 parts. So what are the 3 things we have to do in the section number 141? Now in the section number 141, 3 things what we have to do are, first one, section number 141 subsection 1. Now what is section number 141 subsection 1? Section number 141 subsection 1 talks about what? It talks about eligibility. It talks about what? Eligibility of an auditor. Okay? It talks about eligibility of an auditor. Right? Section number 141 subsection 2. It talks about qualifications of an auditor. It talks about what? Qualifications of an auditor. Everyone clear? And then we have section number 141 subsection 3. It talks about what, sir? It talks about disqualifications of an auditor. Disqualifications of an auditor. Okay, sir? So very important section, highly intellectual section. So the next 2.5 hours, minimum 2 hours, we have to spend on this particular section called section number 141. Why we have to, invest so much time in this section? Because the number of questions what the examiner may ask you from this particular section is high number, highest number, you can say that. Are you getting the one? The highest number of sections the examiner may ask you in this particular section, right? So let us do it without wasting the time. Let us start with the section number 141 in detail, right? Now, as I told you, section number 141 is divided into 3 subparts. Subsection number 1, subsection number 2, subsection number 3. Now, what is section number 141 subsection 1? It talks about what? It talks about eligibility. It talks about what? It talks about eligibility. So, sir, what is the eligibility of being an auditor in India? Actually, if you frankly ask me, this section we should do before section number 139. Where we should start like who is an auditor, what auditor is all about. But yes, as we are doing the sections in a sequential manner, that's why. So it depends upon you. Either you can do this section before the section number 139 or you can do this section post section number 139. That completely depends upon you. Now, eligibility. What is eligibility? There is one section number 2 subsection 17 of CA Act 1949. Chartered Accountants Act 1949 talks about what? Auditor. Talks about what? A chartered accountant. Are you getting the point? So what is the definition of a chartered accountant? The chartered accountant definition we have to do as per section number 2 subsection 17 of the Chartered Accountants Act 1949. What they are saying that who can be an auditor? An auditor must be a chartered accountant. Auditor must be a chartered accountant. Sir, what do you mean by chartered accountant? Why we are not using the word called CA? CA are just the 2 letters which you can prefix before your name. Are you understanding the point? CA are just the 2 letters which you can prefix before your name. But if you are in practice, you are represented by the full designation called what? Chartered accountant below your name. So say for example, I'm a practicing CA since last 7 years. So in my nameplate, in my office, in my nameplate, it is written chartered accountants. Are you getting the point? And in my residence plate also it is written CA Rohit Grover chartered accountant. That's it. Chartered accountant, the full designation chartered accountant represents that this particular CA is in what? Practice. So you should be a chartered accountant. So when I'm using the word called chartered accountant, I'm talking about what? Practicing CA. I'm talking about what? Practicing CA. You should be a practicing chartered accountant holding valid certificate of practice. Holding what? Valid certificate of practice. COP stands for what? Certificate of practice. So after getting qualified from the ICAI, after getting qualified from our temple called ICAI, you are having two options. So what are the two options? Either you can go for employment or you can go for practice. If you are coming into the practice, you need to hold your membership number as well as you need to be holding a valid certificate of practice. Are you getting the point? So a chartered accountant holding a valid certificate of practice is what? Is eligible to be an auditor. Is eligible to be an auditor. Are you getting the point? इसका मतलब what is the major difference between a practicing CA and a non-practicing CA? The major difference between the practicing CA and the non-practicing CA is only one thing, that is called holding a certificate of practice. Are you getting the point? If you are holding a certificate of practice, you can do the audit function. But if you are not holding the certificate of practice, you can do every practice what a practicing CA is doing except one. What is that? Audit function. So non-practicing CA is not eligible to do what? Audit function. He cannot sign the audit report except one area where a non-practicing CA can also be an auditor. What is that area? Section number 138, which is known as what? इंटरनल ऑडिट. इंटरनल ऑडिट में क्वालिफिकेशन क्या है? यू कैन हायर अ सीए और अ सीएमए आइदर इन प्रैक्टिस और नॉट. इट डजंट मेक एनी डिफरेंस. Are you getting the point? So a non-practicing CA can do only one branch of audit, that is called what? Internal audit. Otherwise in every audit and chartered accountant needs to be a person holding a valid certificate of practice. So you need not be only a CA, you need to be a chartered accountant. Are you getting the point? You need to be a chartered accountant holding a valid certificate of practice. That is called what? Eligibility to be what? Auditor. And when we use the word called auditor, we are talking about which auditor, guys? We are talking about external, or we are talking about what? Statutory audit. Are you getting the point or not? हम लोग statutory audit की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? So what is section 2 subsection 17? Subsection 17 of CA Act 1949 says that कि you need to be a chartered accountant holding a valid certificate of practice. So that is what is written in the eligibility. Now let us do the next thing. What is the next thing? Next thing is qualifications of an auditor. What is the next thing? Qualifications of an auditor. So we are going completely as per the chart what we have written above. Next thing what we are going to do is qualifications of an auditor. Sir, what do you mean by qualifications of an auditor? In India, you are allowed to practice in two different ways. In India, you are allowed to practice in how many ways? Two different ways. What is the first one? The first way by which you can practice in India is in the form of sole proprietor audit. In the form of sole proprietor auditor. It means I'm talking about individual auditor. मतलब तुम्हारी sole proprietor practicing firm है. You are holding a certificate of practice and you are running a sole proprietor practicing firm. Now I am also having my sole proprietor practicing firm. Along with that, I am also a partner in one firm. Yes sir, we can have multiple. Don't worry, we will talk about it in section number 141 subsection 3 clause G, ceiling limit. I got some doubts because I know that some of the students will raise the eyebrow when I'm saying that I am having my own sole proprietor also, I'm a partner also somewhere. Yes, we can have a multiple practicing firms. Are you getting the point? So that we'll understand in section number 141 subsection 3 clause G when we'll talk about the disqualification. Now understand one thing. You in India, you can practice in two forms. Either you can practice in the form of sole proprietor as an individual auditor, and what is the second form of practice what you can establish in India is known as firm of auditors. Is known as what? Firm of auditors. It is known as firm of auditors. So in the firm of auditors there are two classifications. There can be a partnership firm of auditors, or there can be LLP, limited liability partnership of auditors. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is कि in India you can practice only in three different ways. What are the three different ways? First one, as a sole proprietor. Second one, as an individual auditor. First one is sole proprietor as an individual auditor. Second one, a firm of chartered accountant in the form of partnership firm. Third one, a firm of chartered accountant in the form of LLP. Crystal clear, everyone? So what are the three things? Sole proprietor, partnership firm, LLP. So you are qualified to be an auditor in India if you are running as a sole proprietor, as a partnership firm, and as a what? LLP. Everyone clear? Okay, next point. Now sole proprietor का मतलब क्या हुआ? A chartered accountant holding valid COP. Is it correct or not? It means one practicing CA. It means what? One practicing CA holding a valid COP. COP stands for certificate of practice. He can open a sole proprietor in his own name. Second thing, partnership form of auditors में क्या हुआ? This is called the qualification of which one? Sole proprietor. This is a qualification of a sole proprietor. Now let us understand the qualification of a partnership form of auditor. Point number one. Out of the partners, majority of them must be practicing in India. Condition number one is out of all the practicing partners, majority of them must be practicing in India. सर इसका मतलब बताएंगे? जरूर बताएंगे, क्यों नहीं बताएंगे? तो इसका एग्जांपल भी कर लेते हैं. What is the example? Suppose there are 17 partners. How many partners in my firm? 17 partners. So first of all, let us understand one thing. Do we have any upper limit in the partnership firm of chartered accountants? Answer is no. You can have as many partners in your firm. Because we as a partnership firm are not a partnership firm as per the Partnership Act 1932. We are not governed under the regulations of Partnership Act 1932. So as a CA firm of partnership, as a partnership firm of CA practicing chartered accountant, you can have what? You can have as many partners in your firm. Clear? Point number one, among all the partners, so I have a 17 partners. Among all the partners, those who are in practice, out of them, majority must be practicing in India. So say for example, in my 7 partnership firm, suppose my firm name is ABC and Co. My name of the firm is ABC and Co. So there are total 17 partners in the ABC and Co. Out of 17 partners of ABC and Co, say for example, 2 are CS, 2 are company secretary. So sir, यहाँ पे भी एक question आता है, sir, can we have multidisciplinary partnership firm? Yes, I'm coming to the next point. In next point we'll discuss about that. So 2 are company secretary and remaining 15 are what? Chartered accountants. Right? Out of these 15, 6 are non-practicing CAs and remaining 9 are what? Practicing CAs. Out of these 9 practicing CAs, 5 are practicing in US and 4 are practicing in India. So my question is ABC and Co qualified to be an auditor in India? Answer is no. They are disqualified. What is the reason? Reason is out of the partners, out of the practicing partners, majority are practicing in India or outside India? They are practicing outside India. That's why no, they are disqualified. They are disqualified to be an auditor in India. So to become a partnership firm of chartered accountants in India, you need to be a practicing chartered accountant firm. Second thing, out of the practicing partners in India, majority must be practicing in India. Out of the practicing partners in your firm, majority must be practicing in India. Everyone clear? That is what the meaning of the point number 1. Out of the partners, majority of them must be practicing in India. Everyone clear? Sir, clear. Point number 2. Acha, tell me one thing. If I'll do this vice versa. Now 5 are practicing in India, 4 are practicing in US. Now it is qualified? Tell me. Yes sir, now it is qualified because majority of them are practicing in India. Point number 1 clear? Yes sir, point number 1 clear. Point number 2, can we have partnership firm with a non-practicing CA? Yes sir, we can have a partnership firm with a non-practicing CA also. There is no harm. Nowhere in the act it is written that non-practicing CA cannot open a firm. The only thing is the non-practicing CA, what he can't do, what a practicing CA can do, he cannot sign the audit report. He cannot do the audit function. That is the only difference between a practicing CA and a non-practicing CA. Relating to the ROC matters, relating to the income tax matters, relating to the other matters. Yes, non-practicing CA can also represent you in those authorities. The only difference is who cannot do the audit. Non-practicing CA cannot do the audit. I hope everyone is clear, crystal clear. Everyone is super clear. Okay, let us understand. Can we have a partnership with the non-practicing CA? Answer is what? Yes, we can have a partnership with the non-practicing CA. Next point, point number 3. Sir, what is point number 3? Can we have multiple disciplinary partnership firm? Now here I will give you the answer to the query which you got in the first point. Ki can we have multidisciplinary partnership firm? What do you mean by multidisciplinary partnership firm? क्या एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट दूसरे प्रोफेशनल्स के साथ मिलके एक फर्म ऑफ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स बना सकता है? आंसर इज यस, यू कैन हैव अ मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी पार्टनरशिप फर्म. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. No problem in that, sir. But if you want to enter into a partnership with the non-CAs, I'm not saying non-practicing CA, I'm saying you are entering a partnership with the non-CAs, other disciplinary professional bodies, persons and professionals, then there is a restriction. Like there are 6 persons with whom you can enter a partnership with. Now, it is not a part of section number 141. It is a part which you are going to understand in professional ethics. In the professional ethics, if you remember in the introduction class, I told you that there are 2 schedules. Schedule 1, 19 clauses are there, and schedule 2, 14 clauses are there, 15 clauses are there. In the schedule 1, there is part 1. In the schedule 1, there is a part 1. In the part 1, there is another clause number 4, entering into partnership. So there you will understand that a chartered accountant in practice can enter a partnership with the non-chartered accountant professionals also. But who are these? They are restricted to 6 people. They are restricted to how many people? 6 people. Sir, total 6 log hai with whom you can enter a partnership with. Now, who are those 6 people? You can enter a partnership with CS, a CMA, Cost and Management Accountant graduate. It is BE, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Technology, LLB, Actuarial Scientist. Actuarial Scientist. I hope everyone is crystal clear now. Now, with whom you can enter a partnership firm with? You can enter a partnership firm with 6 other professionals. Who are those? LLB, registered with Bar Council, registered with ICSI, registered with ICAI, Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Technology, registered with the Indian Institute of Engineers, Actuarial Scientist, Indian Institute of Actuarial Sciences. So if you want to enter a multidisciplinary partnership firm, you can enter with these people. Crystal clear? Yes, sir. So what are the rules? What are the qualifications of the partnership firm of auditors we found? First of all, tell me how many firms, in how many ways you can practice in India? 3 ways. One is sole proprietorship firm, second one is partnership firm, and the third one is LLP. In the sole proprietorship firm, one practicing CA holding a valid certificate of practice. Second thing, in the partnership firm, point number 1, is there any upper limit? No upper limit, sir. Point number 2, in the majority of the partners, majority of them must be practicing in India. Third mein, what we are understanding, ki can we have a partnership firm with the non-practicing CA? Yes, sir, you can have. Only difference is he cannot sign the audit report. As a practicing CA, you can. And the third thing what we understood, can we enter into a multiple disciplinary partnership firms? Answer is yes. Are you getting the point? Answer is yes. Yes, we can enter into a multidisciplinary partnership firm. I hope everyone is clear, right or not? Okay, let's move ahead. Now we are talking about what? LLP. We are talking about what? LLP. Point number 1, which is highly important in the qualification when it comes to the LLP, what you have to understand is, point number 1 is, first of all, you should be an Indian LLP only. अगर आप Indian LLP हो, Indian Limited Liability Partnership Firm हो, then only you can start your practicing in India. अगर आप इंडिया में प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करना चाहते हो, यू शुड बी एन इंडियन एलएलपी. सर, इंडियन एलएलपी का मतलब क्या? यू नीड टू इनकॉर्पोरेट अ न्यू लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप फर्म अंडर इंडियन लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एक्ट 2008. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? 2008 लिमिटेड लाइबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एक्ट के तहत आपको रजिस्टर करवाना पड़ेगा. Are you getting the point? So you should be an Indian LLP. Then sir, question comes, sir, what about this Deloitte? What about this ENY, Ernst and Young? What about this KPMG? What about this Price Waterhouse Coopers? So if you clearly see their name, you will find that they are Indian. They are Indian firms. Now, if you go to the Google and search the word Deloitte India LLP, it is written. It is written Deloitte India LLP. So you need to incorporate in India as a which LLP? If you want to practice it in India, you need to incorporate an Indian LLP. US LLP, UK LLP, allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. So first point is, in India you can practice as an LLP. Point number one, you need to be an Indian LLP. Point number one. Point number two. Now point number two actually is applicable for all the firms. It is applicable for all the firm. Either you are a sole proprietor or you are a partnership firm or you are an LLP. You all must have to be registered with whom? You all have to be registered with whom? ICAI. When we open up partnership firm or an LLP firm or a sole proprietor of practicing CAs, we need to get it registered with ICAI. Why? Filing form number 108, that is constitution of a firm. Are you getting now? Either a sole proprietor or a partnership or an LLP. So after your form is approved by the ICAI, ICAI will allot you one firm registration number. On the basis of that, every year you need to pay what? Membership fees and COP fees and firm fees details, all those things. They are the part of our professional ethics. There we'll understand. So every sole proprietor, partnership firm or LLP need to be registered with whom? ICAI. And most important point is, in the point number 3, in LLP only individuals can be partners. Sir, what do you mean by this point? बहुत ही simple point है sir. What do you mean by individuals? Means what? A entity cannot be a partner in an LLP of chartered accountants. If you are opening an LLP of chartered accountants, only what? Only individual can be a partner. Let me give you one example. I am having a Rohit Grover LLP of chartered accountants. I am having a Rohit Grover LLP of chartered accountant. There is one ABC Co in the market. Now that ABC Co wants to become partner in my LLP. ABC Co wants to become partner in my LLP. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. In that ABC and Co, Mr. A wants to become a partner in my LLP. That is allowed. I hope you understood the difference. ABC and Co is not an individual. ABC and Co is an entity. That entity wants to become a partnership in my form of LLP. That is not allowed. But Mr. A of ABC and Co wants to become my partner. That is allowed. That is the thing you have to understand in LLP. So what are the 3 points we understood in LLP? It should be an Indian LLP. Second thing, they should be registered with whom? ICAI. And third thing, what we understood? Only individuals can be what? Partners. I hope everyone is crystal clear. So this what brings an end to the section number 141 subsection 1 and 141 subsection 2, which talks about eligibility and qualification of an auditor. Now we are moving ahead towards a very important and very intellectual section where the brainstorming will be there, and I can guarantee you the questions which I am going to ask you, the depth what we are going to touch is going to be quite brainstorming. Are you getting the point or not? Shall we start now? Chalo, start karte hain. What is the next section we have to do now? The next section what we have to understand is section number, the next section what we have to understand is section number 141 subsection 3. So what is the heading? The heading is disqualifications of an auditor. ठीक है सर, disqualifications of an auditor. So what is the name of the topic? Disqualifications of an auditor. Highly intellectual section, बहुत ही important section है, हर कोई ध्यान से पढ़ेगा, हर कोई concentrate करेगा. ठीक है. Now point number 1, what is the first disqualification? In total I am going to tell you 11 disqualifications. How many disqualifications? 11 disqualifications I am going to tell you. So out of that, the very first disqualification which we are going to understand is known as, the very first disqualification which we are going to understand is known as point number 1. A body corporate or a company except LLP. Now इसको interpretate कैसे करना है? Let me tell you. I will write directly what is written in the law, but I will tell you in a different way so that you can understand how to interpret these points. अब सुनना ध्यान से. What is the heading? Disqualifications of an auditor. It means we are talking about the negative thing which will happen to the auditor, and auditor has to vacate the office. Are you getting the point or not? Then casual vacancy will take place. Do you remember one of the reason of casual vacancy is disqualification also? So if 141 subsection 3 is attracting, then 139 subsection 8 will also come. Try to play with these sections, once you will start playing with this section, now audit will be like, this, I think that you should do the audit in such a way कि आपकी रगों में ना, when I should cut your part from here, not the blood should come, standards should come, standards on auditing should come. Are you getting the point? From here section should come. ऐसा perfect way में अपने को audit करना है. Are you there with me or not? चलो start करते हैं. What is the first one? Auditor in India is disqualified if he opens body corporate of chartered accountants and if he opens a company of chartered accountants to do the practice. Means India mein there are only 3 things by which we can practice. Can you tell me what are the 3 things? First one, sole proprietorship. Second one, partnership form. Third one, LLP. Can we practice in India in the form of body corporate? Allowed or not allowed? Sir, कतई भी allowed नहीं है. Not allowed. Can we practice in India in the form of company? Not allowed. Except what? LLP. Sir, why we have written the except LLP here? We already have done it in the qualification now. Why unnecessarily writing here? The reason is the LLP word is included in the definition of body corporate. So when we will only use the word called body corporate, what is the interpretation we are giving? It means LLP is also not allowed. If we will only use a word called body corporate, we are giving the interpretation that LLP is also not allowed. But LLP is allowed or not? That's why specially I wrote except what? LLP, limited liability partnership firm. I hope everyone is clear. Super clear. Chalo. First disqualification over. Now, second disqualification, ready to be grilled. Second disqualification. What is the second disqualification do we have? The second disqualification is an auditor should not be the officer or employee of the company. He should not be the officer or employee in the company where you are already being appointed as a statutory auditor. If that company is offering you any employment or offering you any kind of place of profit of office, you are not supposed to take that opportunity. If you will be becoming the employee of that company, if you will becoming the officer of that company, you will be what? Immediately disqualified. Sir, only me will be disqualified? No, sir. Your partner will also be disqualified. Your whole firm will be what? Disqualified. First of all, tell me one thing. Appointment letter comes in the name of firm or in the name of partner? No, appointment letter never comes in the name of partner. Appointment letter comes in the name of firm. In your firm, you or your partner is going to be employed or going to hold the office in company where you are already doing a which audit? Statutory audit. You will be immediately disqualified. Now there are so many things I have to tell you here. First of all, let us understand what company means here. When I'm using the word called company, always remember, I will tell you only in this point. What do you mean by company? Wherever I'll be using the word called company, you have to run your brain like this and you have to understand this chart. This chart should come in front of you. मैंने बोला ना, कट करे तो स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड सेक्शन आने चाहिए, आईज क्लोज करे तो दिस चार्ट शुड कम. Are you getting the point? Now, what do you mean by company here? Company means the main company in which you are an auditor. If you are holding employment and office relationship in the main company in which you or your partner or the whole firm is an auditor, in its holding also you are disqualified. If you are doing the same thing in the holding of your company also, now this is the company where you are appointed. This is a company where you are appointed as an auditor. In its holding, if you are taking an employment or taking a what? Office relationship, then also you are disqualified. Your firm is disqualified. And in its what? If this is holding, what is this? Subsidiary. So in subsidiary also you can't take the employment and office relationship. And if you are taking it with the associate also, you are an auditor in this company, and in this company you got an opportunity. You are an auditor in this company, and in this company you are getting what? Opportunity of becoming an employee and officer, and this company is an associate of this company. This company is an associate of this company. Now tell me what is happening? You are again disqualified. So neither you can take any of this relationship in the holding, nor in the subsidiary, nor in the associate. And what is on the another side? Another subsidiary of common parent. Another subsidiary of which parent? Common parent. Now let's take an example. I am an auditor in ABC Limited. I am an auditor in ABC Limited. Are you getting the point? ABC Limited I am an auditor of. In PQR Limited I am getting an employment. In which limited? PQR Limited. I am an auditor in ABC Limited. I am getting the employment in what? PQR Limited. Are they connected associate wise? No. Are they connected holding subsidiary wise? No. But they both, ABC Limited and PQR Limited, they both are what? They both are the subsidiaries of MNO Limited. They both are the subsidiaries. ABC Limited and PQR Limited both are the subsidiaries of what? MNO Limited. Sorry, MNO Limited. Now tell me, MNO Limited is a common parent of these two subsidiaries or not? ABC Limited and PQR Limited both have a common subsidiary called what? MNO Limited. Are you guys understanding? Are you getting it? Then also I am what? Disqualified. So when you are disqualified in 5 different angles, in the company in which you are an auditor, you take up this opportunity, you are disqualified. Holding, disqualified. Subsidiary, disqualified. Associate, disqualified. Another subsidiary with a common parent also, you are what? Disqualified. This is what the interpretation of the word called what? Company. Now question is, I need not tell you the definition of employee. Employee means taking up an employment, but what is the definition of officer? Now listen to this case. Officer means here what? Director. Officer means director. Officer means KMP, key managerial person position, and officer means shadow director also. Officer means which director? Shadow director also. So if you are holding any director, KMP position or shadow director. Now KMP means what? Whole time director. KMP means what? CFO. KMP means what? CEO. KMP means what? Managing director. KMP means what? CS. And KMP means what? KMP means manager. So these are the 6 definitions of the word called what? KMP. 6 people included in KMP, and director and shadow director. If you are holding any of these position, you will be deemed to be holding which position? Officer. Officer and employment relationship with the main company in its holding, in its subsidiary, in its associate, in its another subsidiary. You, your partner and your whole firm will be what? Disqualified. I hope you all understood. Crystal clear? Right or not? If you have any doubts, do remember I already told you the previous lecture also. You can send the doubt on this particular number, and I'll also share my personal number with you where you can keep in touch with me. Okay? So what is the first disqualification? In India, you are not allowed to open a body corporate or a company of chartered accountants except LLP. Second thing, you are not supposed, your partner or your firm is not supposed to take up any kind of employment and officer in a company holding subsidiary. Sir, बार बार क्यों करवा रहे? क्योंकि यहीं पे first and the last time I am going to make you revise, because whenever I use a word called company, automatically this particular thing should run in your brain. So company, holding, subsidiary, associate, another subsidiary. What do you mean by officer? Director, KMP, shadow director. KMP में 6 people. Who are the 6 people? See, whole time director, CFO, CEO, MD, CS, manager. Khatam. Crystal clear. Okay, sir. Immediate disqualification for your firm. Your whole firm will be disqualified. Now, point number 3. Point number 3, disqualification is very similar to point number 2, but here you have to understand one point. Here you have to understand one point. It is not direct disqualification, it is indirect disqualification. It is a indirect disqualification. Sir, कैसे समझाओ? अब समझो. In employment or in partnership, you are in employment or in partnership with officer or employee of company, with officer or employee of the company. अब सुनना, ये बहुत ही, it's a very thin line of difference if you can catch the point between the second point and third point. In the second point, you are directly the officer and employee of the company, but in this point, you or your partner is neither the officer nor the employee. You are under the employment or in partnership with officer and employee of the company. So direct relationship of officer and employee with the company or indirect? Indirect, sir, indirect. Direct relationship, you are disqualified under clause number B. Are you getting the point? That is point number 2. Indirect relationship, you are disqualified under point number 3. So you should not be the officer and employee, that we have already covered in point number 2. Here you should not be in employment or you should not be in partnership also with the officer and employee of the company. Matlab, you are not officer and employee, you are in partnership, you are in employment with the officer and employee of the company. Are you getting the point? चलो एक एग्जांपल करके देखते हैं. तो let us see how we have to analyze this situation. Say for example, AB and Co is a CA firm. They are the auditors of XYZ Limited. In the XYZ, Mr. M is a MD and Mr. O is an employee. Mr. M is an MD, Mr. O is an employee. ठीक है ना? So you should not be under what? Now see, you or your partner, now I'm going to go a little bit casual now, you or your partner is in partnership with officer, you or your partner is in partnership with officer or employee of company where you are an auditor. Qualified or disqualified? Disqualified. You are not supposed to be in partnership with the officer and employee of the company. Here you are not the officer and employee, you are in partnership with the officer and employee of the company. आप ऑफिसर एंड एम्प्लॉय नहीं हो भाई, आप पार्टनरशिप में हो. किसके साथ? ऑफिसर एंड एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द कंपनी के साथ. ठीक है ना सर? पॉइंट नंबर 2, यू और योर पार्टनर इज इन एम्प्लॉयमेंट, not in partnership. Now which relationship? Employment. Here partnership relationship, here employment relationship. With whom? With the officer or employee of company. Here also you are disqualified, here also you are what? Disqualified. So neither you should have employment relationship nor you should have partner relationship with the officer and employee of the company. Now question is, what is employee? We already know. What is officer? We already know. And what do you mean by company? Repeat, what do you mean by company? Close your eyes, chart will come. What do you mean by company? Holding, subsidiary, associate, another company. This is why you have to analyze each and every point. Sir, किसी भी एंगल से आपको डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं छोड़ेगा. Disqualification is definitely going to take you to vacate the office in any angle, directly in the company, indirectly in the holding, indirectly in the subsidiary, indirectly in the what do you say, an associate, and indirectly with the another company with a common parent. I hope everyone is clear now. I hope everyone is justified with the provisions what we are doing, right? Okay, so I hope I justified your expectation in the first 3 disqualification. What is the first disqualification? You need not open, you are not required to open the body corporate or a company except what? LLP. Second thing, what we understood, you are not supposed to be the officer and employee of the company. In the third point, so can I say that this is direct disqualification? Yes, this is a direct disqualification. And what is this? This is indirect disqualification. Sir, how it is indirect? Here you are not officer and employee, your partner is not officer and employee, but you are in employment or in partnership with what? Officer and employee of the company. Are you getting the point or not? चाहे आप MD के साथ हो या आप एम्प्लॉय के साथ हो, इन ऑल द केसेस यू आर व्हाट? डिस्क्वालिफाइड. आई होप एवरीवन इज क्लियर. से यस. यस अपने मन में ही बोल दो बस. मेरे पास आवाज पहुंच जाएगी. ठीक है, तो से यस. डिस्क्वालिफाइड और नॉट? अंडरस्टूड द पॉइंट्स? ओके, लेट्स do the next point. Now what is a fourth disqualification, sir? What is a fourth disqualification? अब अपने को यहां पे एक fourth disqualification करनी है. ध्यान से concentrate करके fourth disqualification we have to understand. Now see, very easy disqualification, highly easy disqualification. Now you or your partner holding any security, holding any security in company, it's a holding, it's a subsidiary, it's a associate, it's a another company with the common parent. Do you remember that? So instead of telling that in chart, I am writing it here. You or your partner found guilty of holding any security. ये दोनों वर्ड्स को अपने को एनालाइज करना है. तो इफ यू और योर पार्टनर or your firm is holding any security in the company, in its holding, in its subsidiary, in its associate, and in its what? Another subsidiary, your whole firm will be what? Disqualified right now, immediately. Are you getting the point? अब सुनना ध्यान से. What do you mean by any? Any means any security. Equity share capital रहने दो, preference share capital, it can be bonds, it can be debentures, it can be deposits, it can be commercial paper or any kind of financial security. You are not supposed to have any kind of financial security holding up with your company, with its holding or subsidiary, associate or another subsidiary. I hope everyone is crystal clear. Everyone super clear? Now any means that, now any means any security means this is the meaning of any security. ठीक है ना सर? Who is disqualified? You, your partner is disqualified. It means your whole firm is also what? Disqualified. If you are supposed to hold, sir, 1 rupee equity share allowed? Sir, not even a half paisa allowed. You or your partner will be and your firm will be completely disqualified if you are found guilty of holding any kind of security in your main client, in its holding, in its subsidiary, in its associate and what? मैं बार बार ये एक्सप्रेशन करूंगा so that कि when you sleep at night 3 o'clock also, if I shake you up, can you please tell me what is the definition of company? You should be in a position to tell me. हाँ सर ने बताया था नींद में, हाँ ये ऐसा है होल्डिंग, ये सब्सिडरी है, ये एसोसिएट है. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? कथक कर रहे हैं. होल्डिंग, सब्सिडरी, एसोसिएट, ये कथक याद कर लेना. ठीक है ना? दिस इज कॉल्ड कथक. I don't know whether it is known as Bharatnatyam or Kathak, right sir? So holding any security in the company, holding subsidiary or associate, it will be treated as what? Complete disqualification. So it means analysis देखते हैं. What is the analysis? Analysis says that on you and your partner holding any security for any value, immediate disqualification. Immediate disqualification. But स्टोरी इज नॉट कंप्लीटेड येट. अब स्टोरी में आएगा ट्विस्ट. स्टोरी क्या बोलती है? वेट चाहिए, सिंपल वेट. व्हाट द स्टोरी इज सेइंग? प्लीज वेट, लेट मी गिव यू सम मोर क्लैरिटी. दे आर सेइंग दैट रिलेटिव्स मे होल्ड द सिक्योरिटीज. मीन्स व्हाट? सर रिलेटिव कहां से आ गया भाई? रिलेटिव भी आएगा. यू योर पार्टनर इमीडिएटली डिस्क्वालिफाइड. Now, but what about your relatives? Relatives may also hold the security. Relatives may hold the securities. उनको कोई मना नहीं है. Relatives may hold the security, that too up to rupees 1 lakh of face value of securities. 1 lakh of what? Face value of securities. Which value? Face value. Again repeating, which value? Face value. Market value nahi, face value. No market value, only face value. So if the relatives may hold the securities up to rupees 1 lakh of which value? Face value of securities, then in that case you are not disqualified. Then in that case you are not what? Disqualified. What is the limit for the relative? Up to rupees 1 lakh. What is the limit for the relatives? Up to rupees 1 lakh of market value or face value? Sir, face value, not market value. Relative is holding 1,20,000 market value of securities whose face value is 10,000. Qualified or disqualified? Qualified, sir. Are we bothered about market value or face value? Face value. We are not bothered about market value. So up to 1 lakh means what? 1 lakh and less is allowed for the relatives. Are you getting now? 1 lakh or less is allowed for relatives. But more than 1 lakh? Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. If relatives holding of securities, if relatives holding of security breaches or increases 1 lakh of face value, then what will happen? Immediate disqualification? No. Act is saying we will give you 60 days to do the corrective action. The auditor will be provided, the firm will be provided how many days? 60 days to take the corrective action to bring down the relative investment below or equivalent to what? 1 lakh. So you and your partner के केस में any amount, any security, immediate disqualification. But in the relatives case, up to rupees 1 lakh of face value, disqualification or no disqualification? No disqualification. Even if it is more than 1 lakh of face value, immediate disqualification? No, sir. Disqualification is there, but not immediate. Disqualification will attract after how many days? 60 days. So in this case, disqualification will attract after 60 days. It means on 60th day, if your relatives holding is still more than 1 lakh of face value, then your partner and your whole firm will be what? Disqualified. It means, sir, what we can do in those 60 days? In those 60 days, take the corrective measures. It means during those 60 days, auditor shall take corrective action to bring it back to the acceptable level. To the which level? Acceptable level. What is our acceptable level? 1 lakh of face value of securities. I hope you understood. तो अभी इसका एनालिसिस करते हैं. In case of you or your partner holding any security of any value, which disqualification? Sir, immediate disqualification. Correct or not? But in case of your relatives holding securities up to 1 lakh, of face value, disqualification or no disqualification? No disqualification. But exceeding 1 lakh, yes, disqualification. But when? Immediately or after 60 days? After 60 days. Everyone crystal clear? Yes or no? Everyone clear? Yes, sir, we are clear. Okay? Now the biggest problem is, sir, please tell us the meaning of the word called relative. Please tell us the meaning of the word called relative. We don't know the meaning of the relative. Ab sunna dhyan se. Relative definition is the same definition which is given under section 2 subsection 77 of Companies Act 2013. Now, what is the relative definition? Relative definition says that members of HUF family, members of HUF means co-partners, the family members of HUF comes under the definition of what? Relative. Let it be major or let it be minor. But in the second part of the definition, you have to remember the 14 persons. How do we have to remember 14%? Now, it is a very tricky thing. Now, what happens generally, student fails to understand the definition of relative, fails to retain it basically. I will make you very simple thing to you. Now, suppose I am married now. Okay? Who stays here inside my heart? Who stays inside my heart? Inside my heart, my wife stays. So, it means the first person who comes under the relative is known as spouse. Who is the first person? Spouse. Here is what? Spouse. Everyone clear or not? Here is what? Spouse. Who are always having their blessings on my head? Who are above me? Who are above me? Above me are my parents. तो parents में दो लोग कौन से होते हैं? Mother and father. Sir, easy to remember. देखो, here spouse, here mother, here father. अब सुनना ध्यान से. Who is parallel to me? Who is parallel to me? Brother, sister. They are parallel to me. We all are siblings. We are parallel. Brother, sister. Easy to remember now? Now see. Again, who is here? Spouse. Here, mother. Here, father. Here, brother. Here, sister. Who is down to me? My generation. Who is down to me? Son or daughter. सर 7 people तो हमने कर भी लिया आउट ऑफ 14. हियर से बोलो यहां पे स्पाउस, हस्बैंड है तो वाइफ, वाइफ है तो हस्बैंड, यहां पे स्पाउस, राइट और स्पाउस ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, मदर ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, फादर ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, ब्रदर ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, सिस्टर ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, सन ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, डॉटर ऑफ एन ऑडिटर. 7 people are over. अब सुनना ध्यान से. Mother includes stepmother also. Mother includes which mother? Stepmother. Father includes stepfather also. Brother includes stepbrother also. Right? Sister includes stepsister also. Son includes stepson. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 plus 5. Total 12 people are over in the definition of relative. I hope you are finding it interesting. Spouse, mother including stepmother, father including stepfather, brother including stepbrother, sister including stepsister, son including stepson. Sir, one thing you have not written here, stepdaughter. Stepdaughter is not provided in the definition of relative under section 2 subsection 77. समझ में आया सर? तो 7 people, spouse, mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, stepmother, stepfather, stepbrother, stepsister, stepson, but no stepdaughter. Then sir ये तो 12 ही हुए, आपने बोला तो 14 persons. So next one is son's wife. Son's wife, right or not? And next one is what? Daughter's husband. हो गया ना? 14 people. Are you able to understand? These are the 14 people. Sir, please make us count. Count भी कर लेते हैं. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. खत्म. Easy. खा जाओ इसे definition को. Last time, spouse, mother including stepmother, father including stepfather, brother including stepbrother, sister including stepsister, son including stepson, daughter not having stepdaughter, only daughter, daughter's husband, and son's wife. I hope everyone is crystal clear. So that brings an end to our 4th disqualification also. So tell me, sir, पहली disqualification क्या थी? You are not supposed to open a body corporate or a company of chartered accountant accounts except LLP. Second one क्या था? You are not supposed to be the officer or employee of the company. Company means company holding subsidiary, associate, another subsidiary. You are not supposed to be in employment and in partnership with the officer and employee of the company. Company holding subsidiary, associate, and sir, nowhere did you realize one point that nowhere we talked about joint venture. Nowhere it is talked about anything about the joint venture. So joint venture में you don't have any kind of disqualification. What is written in the law, go by the law. Holding, subsidiary, associate, another subsidiary, common parent, and main company. 5 companies you have to remember. Next point. What is our fourth disqualification? You or your partner found guilty of holding any security of any value in the company, holding subsidiary, associate, or another subsidiary, you are immediately what? Disqualified. Are you getting the point? But your relatives may hold up to rupees 1 lakh of which value? Face value of the securities. मैंने बोला था ना बहुत ग्रेलिंग सेक्शन है. Your relatives may hold up to 1 lakh rupees of face value of the securities. But even if they are increasing or breaching the level of face level of securities, what will happen? Then what will happen? Disqualification. But immediate or after 60 days? Sir, after 60 days disqualification will come. Everyone clear? After 60 days disqualification will come. And what is the next point we understood? So we understood the definition of realty. 14 people and members of HUF. Here 14 people. 14 people: spouse, mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, stepmother, stepfather, stepbrother, stepsister, stepson, no stepdaughter, son's wife, daughter's husband. Over. I hope you liked the session. So we will take a small short break here also, and I'll see you guys in the next session, continuing with our disqualifications under section 141 subsection 3. So for that time, till that time, take a break of 5-10 minutes, and we'll meet in the another session relating to section number 141 subsection 3, talks about disqualification of an auditor. See you guys.